And we're live. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews and me, Rob, and welcome to another live stream. I try to do these about once a month, talk about things I've been watching, things I have bought, and I would love to hear from you all. What have you been watching? What have you bought? Let's talk about exploitation films. Yeah, if you show up, say hi in the chat. Let's go. So I said last time I did this that I probably wouldn't buy much. I lied. I bought some stuff. I just can't stay away from my favorite store here. And, they got great deals, Blu-rays, DVDs, 3 or 4 euros. You can't say no. You could, for the price of renting them, you can own them. So I own them. And I'm ready with my bottom shelf bourbon. Let's go. Right. So first thing I picked up recently is The Woman. I quite like this. It's pretty good. It was not exactly what I expected. Quite a bit. I expected it to be a rather dark, kind of disturbing movie, and it is. I did not expect it to be as well. Like the father in it was way more evil than I expected, which was quite a nice surprise, actually. So yeah, this is good. I would definitely recommend this. I think it's a sequel to something. But I saw like on IMDb or whatever that the sequel is kind of garbage, or the one that came before this. This is the sequel. There's one that came before this. I haven't seen it, but maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, I like this one though. The Woman. Story is a crazy man finds a sort of feral woman, captures her, ties her up in his barn or shed or whatever, and ostensibly he's going to civilize her. That doesn't quite work out. But yeah, pretty cool. I can recommend that one, The Woman. And what else? I got 10 to Midnight on Blu-ray. This has been pretty hard to find in Germany. At least I tried to find it years ago and just couldn't, not for any decent price. But I finally did find it at a decent price, which I was pretty happy about. 10 to Midnight is, was this Canon? I think it's a Canon film. Was it Canon? It must be. Yeah, it's a Canon film, Charles Bronson. And it's kind of cool. It's like a vigilante film, but he's a cop, which is different. Typically, vigilante films are not cops. And it has some slasher elements to it. And the killer is quite good. Just great acting. Yeah, so it's sort of like a slasher mixed with a vigilante police procedural thing. Pretty awesome. I like Charles Bronson quite a lot. And that one's pretty good. Pretty good. What else? Well, I haven't watched this yet, but I couldn't say no. I found The Greasy Strangler. I have no idea if this is any good. I know some people like it, and some other people really hate it. I hear it's pretty gross. I haven't seen it yet, though. Yeah, so I need to watch this still. Have you guys seen this? Do you know about The Greasy Strangler? I mean, what a great title. Hard to say no to a title like that. But yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't say if I like it or not. What else? Black Dynamite. Yeah, pretty pretty cool. This is a blaxploitation parody movie, a modern movie. I don't know when this is from, maybe 2005 or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's pretty funny. I did read somewhere that it's the first blaxploitation parody, but it's not. I mean, the Rudy Ray Moore films are blaxploitation parodies. I mean, he was doing that back during the blaxploitation era. I mean, Dolomite is totally a blaxploitation parody. So, Black Dynamite, cool. Not the first blaxploitation parody, I'm afraid, because Rudy Ray Moore beat you to that one by decades. But yeah, still pretty funny though. I think it's funnier. It kind of runs out of steam a little bit. Yeah, the beginning is quite good. Lots of fun ideas. The kinds of things you would expect if you're going to parody a blaxploitation film. With like boom mics that enter the shot and flubbed line delivery, stuff like that. But it's great. A lot of fun. Black Dynamite. Definitely recommend that one. Oh, someone showed up. Cool. Substance D. I've seen it. It's weird. I imagine you're talking about the Greasy Strangler. Yeah, it looks pretty weird from from what I can tell. So yeah, I'll probably watch it maybe tomorrow. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. I haven't watched. Well, I mean, I watch movies all the time, but the past couple of days, I've been working on a TV series, The Walking Dead. So I haven't watched tons of movies. I've watched a couple of movies in the past few days, but not tons of movies. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, that's what I hear. I mean, it also, just sounds insane. So yeah. Tom, hello. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. What else I got here? I got Jack Brooks Monster Slayer. This movie has a dedicated fan base as far as I can tell. I wouldn't exactly include myself in that category. Yeah, I do. I mean, the movie is definitely worth watching. But I think it's worth watching for the last 30 minutes. The beginning, it's I mean, the movie is only like 80 minutes long or something like that, and it's pretty repetitive, which is that's terrible to be repetitive in an 85-minute movie, and it's kind of repetitive at the beginning. It's not quite as funny as they think it is, but you get through that. It's okay, and you get to the last 30 minutes, which are amazing. Just some wonderful creature effects, rubber suit kind of creature effects, not CGI stuff. So yeah, really great practical effects. Robert Englund is the guy that kind of transforms, so it's a little bit like a body horror kind of thing. And then there's also some sort of zombie-ish kind of creatures. Yeah, great. Like the last 30 minutes, fantastic stuff on the practical effects front. So yeah, definitely. I mean, it was definitely worth the 99 cents I paid for it. You should definitely check this out for 99 cents. Jack Brooks Monster Slayer. Pretty cool. At the end. Yeah, which I guess that's better than the other way around, though, isn't it? It's good. It's better to have a strong ending than a strong beginning and then peter out, I guess. So good for you, Jack Brooks Monster Slayer. You have a strong ending. Oh, then I went down to Dusseldorf a few weeks ago and found this little shop that I was just in love with. There was two floors, pretty small still, but 2 floors, and the shelves were just full of exploitation films, all kinds of stuff. Lots of media books and steel books and rare stuff, some really rare stuff. It was awesome. I wanted to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of euros there, but I don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of euros to spend on DVDs. So I got 2. And I definitely wanted this one, so I got that. The Deadly Spawn. Uh, really like this movie. I saw it for the first time at way too young, way too young. This came out, when did this come out? Maybe like 80. Oh, I think it came out the same year, around the same time as The Evil Dead. So when was that? When it had a wider release, like 80? Was it 80? 81? 82? And then on home media, maybe it came out like 83 or something, which is around when I saw it, which would have made me, oh, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, like way too young to see this thing. But it left quite an indelible impression on me. There's some great creature effects. Obviously, this is a pretty amateurish movie. I think it was made for like $8,000. Just some friends, basically. But it's awesome. I love it. Deadly Spawn, fantastic. Glad that they had this Arrow release at that cool little shop in Dusseldorf. I would definitely go back there. And they had tons of stuff. I almost bought the Mac. They had a DVD of the Mac, which is super hard to find. I was really tempted. It was like 30 euros for the DVD, which is a lot. That's a lot for a DVD. But it's super rare. That movie is super hard to find, and I don't have it, which I really wish I did. But yeah, I couldn't quite justify that. I probably would have if it was a region 2, but it wasn't. It was a region 1, which meant I would have to rip it and whatever. And it just seemed kind of annoying since I'm in Europe to buy a region 1 DVD. So I didn't get it. But yeah, maybe next time I will. What else did I get recently? Oh, I got some Westerns. I've been kind of into Westerns past couple of weeks. Picked up Stagecoach, classic John Wayne movie. Yeah, it's a classic. We've all seen it. And since I was into John Wayne movies for a minute, I got The Searchers, which in German is called Der Schwarze Falke, which makes no sense at all. The Black Falcon. There's no Black Falcons in this movie. Nobody has a nickname, the Black Falcon, in this movie. I don't know why the Germans called it the Black Falcon. They generally suck at naming things. This is no exception. I don't know why they changed it from The Searchers to the Black Falcon, but they did. Anyway, movie's great though. Great John Wayne film. Might be my favorite John Wayne film. I mean, I can't remember them all, of course. I used to watch them with like my dad and my uncle and stuff as a kid. I mean, True Grit's pretty good as far as I remember. But yeah, The Searchers. That's a great Western. And final Western this month is the German title is Spiel mir das Lied vom Tod, which translates to Play Me the Song of Death, which is a pretty awesome title. That's the German title of Once Upon a Time in the West, another Charles Bronson film. Since I was kind of in the Charles Bronson past month, figured I would get Spaghetti Western with Charles Bronson. Classic. Some people think that it's one of the best Westerns ever. Once Upon a Time in the West. I do quite like it, but I don't know. I like the Clint Eastwood ones a bit better, especially The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. That's a fantastic movie. And then even like Unforgiven. That's probably my favorite Western movie. So, yeah. I mean, where would I put Once Upon a Time in the West? I don't know. It might make my top 5. Maybe. There's so many other ones that would want to have one of those slots, like Django maybe, and The Great Silence. That's a great one. And then, the other ones in the Dollars trilogy. Yeah, it would be hard. I'd like to cover more Westerns on the channel, but whenever I do, nobody watches the videos. so I don't cover them very often. Yeah. What else did I get? Oh, Reservoir Dogs. We all know that. No reason to talk about it. I didn't have it. I had it on VHS back in the day. Watched it very many times. Seen it in the theater a couple times. But yeah, I didn't have it on DVD. Maybe because back in the day I watched it so much on VHS and saw it in the theater a handful of times as well. But I watched it again yesterday. Still great. Yeah, it's great. And what else? Oh, well, the last two were more my daughter's picks than my own. She wanted 28 Weeks Later. She liked 28 Days Later, as she should. It's a fantastic film. She wanted to see the sequel, so I picked up 28 Weeks Later for her. I don't really like this one so much. The beginning is great. But that's it. The rest I don't like. The kids are stupid. I don't like movies with stupid kids. And yeah, don't really like it. 28 Days Later is awesome. 28 Weeks, meh. You can turn it off after a half hour or so. And the other one my daughter bought was Lesbian Vampire Killers. She thought it had a great title. She's right. It does have a great title. It is not a great movie. It's actually a pretty terrible movie, which is really too bad because that is a great title. But the movie's not good. A couple of laughs, I guess. But yeah, just it's not good though, at all, really. The vampires, they don't do anything. They just kind of go ooh at the camera, which is really lame. Most of the jokes are pretty terrible. There's a couple of good ones here and there. But yeah, it's a terrible movie. Don't watch it. What do we got going in the chat? What's your favorite Tarantino? I don't know. What is my favorite? Pulp Fiction. That I guess is the easy choice. Or Inglourious Bastards. I kind of go back and forth on those two as my favorite, I guess. Yeah, Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Bastards. Kind of fight for top slot on my Tarantino list. After those, probably go Django, then Jackie Brown, then probably Reservoir Dogs, then maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then the Kill Bills, Death Proof at the end, of course. Like, definitely that's at the bottom of the list. Death Proof. Yeah, that's probably how I'd rank them. Did I forget anything? Oh, the Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight. Yeah, like maybe in between the Kill Bills. Kill Bill 2, Hateful Eight, Kill Bill 1, Death Proof. That'd probably be my ranking of the 10 Tarantino films. Don't Forget True Romance, not a Tarantino film. He wrote it, he didn't direct it. But yeah, he did write it. Okay, I'll give you that. He wrote True Romance. But it's not one of his 10, director ones. And he also wrote, if I remember correctly, what's the vampire one that Robert Rodriguez directed? From Dusk Till Dawn. I think he wrote that too, right? Hey, brother. Any more pre-code stuff coming up? There should be. I don't do them very often, just because similar to why I don't do, spaghetti westerns very often. I love them, but they never do well on the channel. Not enough people watch the videos. And then, if you get like a bad video, then the algorithm will end up screwing you for a couple of weeks. And with my channel being so small, that hurts, I mean, maybe I shouldn't care because I mean it's obvious the channel's never going to amount to anything. I should probably just quit entirely. But you know, for now, I'm having fun talking about movies. So I guess I should do more of stuff that I want to do and just let the channel die because nobody's interested in it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Just let the channel die because people are interested in hearing me talk about spaghetti westerns and pre-code films. Um, but yeah, which pre-code to come up next? Don't know. Hmm. I kind of like to talk about Scarface. That's a good pre-code gangster film. I think Howard Hawks did that one, if memory serves. That's a cool film. It'd be fun to talk about. Um, there's probably a couple others I have over there on my DVD shelf that I should do. Sign of the Cross, maybe something like that, like more of a like an epic kind of pre-code film. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. But yes, I should do more. Yeah, I get that. That sucks. Yeah, it does kind of suck. Um, nah, brother, you hooked me in a month ago or so. Keep it going. Well, I'll keep it going for a while. Um, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers, which I should hit in the next month or so. So yeah, that would be cool. Because at 1,000, then theoretically I could start to get some money from YouTube instead of them taking the money from like the ads they show or whatever. I mean, I don't put any ads on the videos because I can't, right? So you know, but I'm sure it'd be like what, like 50 cents a month or something. I have no idea. But maybe enough to buy like one DVD a month, maybe. Don't quit. We're here. Small but love damage. Thank you. That's nice to hear. Yeah, I know that like there are people that dig it, which is really cool. I get nice, really lovely comments pretty regularly, which is always great to hear. Um, but yeah, I mean YouTube. I think it's mostly young people on YouTube. These movies young people don't know about. I think most of my audience, older people like me, people that have cool taste, not people that think that girls in bikinis dancing on TikTok or it was worthwhile entertainment. We're better than all that, a lot better than all that. But there's just so few of us, there's so few of us. Most people on YouTube are like, oh, it's in black and white. That movie sucks. And, I fucking hate those kind of people. So, so they're not going to watch me, which is like what most of YouTube is. Mystery of the Wax Museum has some good shit. Oh, okay. Have I seen that one? No, I don't think I've seen that one. Mystery of the Wax Museum. I have seen an old sort of wax museum film, but I don't think it's called Mystery of the Wax Museum. I think I saw a different one. But I don't know what it was called. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Mystery of the Wax Museum. I'll try to find it. Right, you guys seen anything good lately? Any other tips or recommendations or things you would like me to talk about on the channel? It's the original. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. House of Wax. Right. Yeah. And there's like 2 House of Wax films, isn't there? I don't remember when the first one was. And then there's the one more modern one with was it with the guy from the Supernatural show? Maybe Jared Padalecki, is that his name? Could be. Don't know. Lionel Atwell, Fay Ray. Ooh, nice. Fay Ray. That's one I would like to talk about. King Kong. That's a pre-code film. I love that movie. That King Kong might be in my top 10 of all time. But with like a classic like that, it's like, what am I going to say about it? It's King Kong. Everyone knows about King Kong. But maybe I would do. Oh, but that's not pre-code though. But Mighty Joe Young, which I also love, and I think not nearly enough people know about that one. Everyone knows about King Kong, But Mighty Joe Young is, I mean, it's not a sequel, but it's with a lot of the same people. And it was like the first, I think it was like the first feature film that Ray Harryhausen worked on, if memory serves correctly. So the animation on the gorilla is fantastic. The movie's great. I love that movie, and it's got, you know, like the guy from King Kong. What is his name? You know, like the leader of the we can't talk right now. The leader of the adventure to go and capture Kong. Yeah, he is also in Mighty Joe Young. Great film, but I think that's like from 43 or something, so not pre-code. When Joe Young got lit, wait, Ty, you mean the lions in the, and everything goes crazy? Yeah, because there's like the lions behind the glass in the bar. Yeah, it's awesome. And then I like the rescue of the orphans in the burning house, also really great. Watch Maniac Cop trilogy. Thoughts like the first one. Yeah, they're okay. I like the first one too. That's Bill Lustig, isn't it? Didn't he do Maniac Cop? I like him. And I think, yeah, also in the first one too, isn't Bruce Campbell in there? Yeah. Yeah, pretty crazy. I'm not like a huge fan of them or anything. But yeah, they're fun enough. Right, Lions, right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And yeah, so that, I think I'm correct on Bill Lustig doing Maniac. I think that's what you're agreeing with me on. Yeah, I like the killer. There's some great scenes like in the first one too. I like big, scary killers in slasher films. One of the reasons I like Rob Zombie's Halloween, because his Michael is gigantic, which I quite like. I've heard that Carpenter did not like that choice. But yeah, Carpenter doesn't like anything except stuff that he does. But he like complained about it in an interview once. But I think it's great to have a really big slasher like that. And similar with Maniac Cop, that's a really big guy. Yeah, because I watched. It's been just a few weeks ago. I watched Halloween 2 again. I hadn't seen it in a while. And I like Michael in that, but there's a couple, but he looks pretty small in that, in some of the scenes. So I think, and sometimes it even looks like maybe as a, yeah, not always the same actor doing like the shape or whatever. But yeah, and then just, I don't know, it just, people are like running away, and I mean, he like sneaks up on people, and he drowns them in boiling water and stuff, and so he's definitely dangerous. But there's a couple times when I'm just like, I could take that dude. Like I got 100 pounds on that guy. Like, so he wasn't totally scary. But yeah, in Rob Zombie's Halloween, he's freaking terrifying. That guy's a monster, which I quite like. Carpenter only likes weed and video games nowadays. Oh, really? Is that what he's into? I mean, I don't know, it's kind of his personality, but he is quite, and he's been this way like for a long time. He's really, what's a good word? Like curmudgeonly. I mean, he's kind of prickly, and he doesn't hold back in interviews. He just says that he doesn't like whatever, and he's not very nice about it. Yeah, I mean, he said, like bad things about like trauma films in the past, and he's just not very nice, which is fine, I guess. We don't all have to be nice, but yeah, but it's kind of unfortunate. I think more people should be like Lloyd Kaufman from Troma. He is just a ray of sunshine all the time. Love Lloyd Kaufman. He's awesome. Yeah, much more fun to listen to in interviews and stuff because he's just super excited and knowledgeable, and he's great. So I like listening to Lloyd talk about movies. I love listening to Roger Corman talk about movies. He's got a great voice, and I really love how passionate he is about low budget films. So I watch interviews with him on YouTube pretty regularly. Yeah, I like listening to Eli Roth talk about horror films. He's a passionate guy as well. Seems to be really friendly. I'm not a big fan of a bunch of his stuff, but I mean, he's cool. But yeah, like Carpenter, even though I love a bunch of Carpenter's films, I don't ever listen to him like in interviews because he's just kind of a dick most of the time. He only does music now. Most artists are like that. Kaufman is more of a salesman. True. Yes, Kaufman, very much a salesman. Yeah, quite a good one too, I think. Robert Rodriguez is one of my favorites as a director. He is so creative and knows how to make the most of his money. Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his as well. Have been his entire career. I mean, my friends and I mean, we had, dubbed VHS copies of El Mariachi like way back in the day. We were really into him, really inspirational, making awesome movies for $6,000 and whatever. Yeah, he is great. Halloween commentary is just Jamie Lee saying, "That's scary," and Carpenter dragging a smoke straight to the mic and saying, "I know." Yes. I have Halloween on Blu-ray over there. But yeah, I haven't listened to the commentary because I don't like listening to Carpenter talk. I like him though. Who's him? Carpenter? I love his movies. I mean, Halloween obviously is great. I mean, The Thing, I am a huge fan of The Thing. Yeah, They Live also. A huge fan of They Live. The Fog, I like a lot. What was the one? Is that Carpenter? Um, what is it? It's like I think it's with Sam Neill. In the Mouth of Madness. Is that Carpenter too? I think it is. That's really good too. I like that a lot. Yeah, I like a lot of Carpenter stuff. He's awesome. Yeah, he is awesome. Vampires underrated. I haven't seen that since probably since it came out. I think my friends and I watched it in the theater. Man, I don't think I've seen it since. I should watch that again. Yeah, yeah, I think I've only seen that just the one time. That was quite a while ago. Yeah, so should do that one again soon. Right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, what have you guys seen recently? Anything like that took you by surprise? Have I seen anything surprising recently? I'd have to look at my Letterboxd, where I have started to keep track of these things. But yeah, I don't know. Recently, yeah, I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to sign off. That's everything I bought. And I can't think of anything interesting that I've watched recently. I actually really enjoyed Knock at the Cabin. I don't know that one. What is Knock at the Cabin? No, never heard of it. Is that a Carpenter film? How have I never heard of a Carpenter film? Oh, maybe it has another title in Germany. That happens sometimes. Yeah, they often have terrible titles. I mean, and sometimes they'll have like I mean, sometimes they'll give it a German title, which is fine. But sometimes they'll, which is really confusing to me sometimes, they will rename an American movie a different name that's also in English. And then I get really confused. Like, wait, is that this movie or is it that movie? It kind of sucks sometimes. So that might have happened here. They might have called it something else. M. Night's new film. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I do not keep up with new films. Yeah, very rarely do I go to the theater. Very rarely do I watch new stuff on Netflix. Yeah, only if it gets the kind of buzz that interests me. So like Terrifier 2, of course, I made a point to watch that. And yeah, like X, I watched, Pearl. But generally with like new stuff, I just don't care. There's most movies suck. Uh, like, but that's true of everything. Most books suck. Most paintings suck. Most photographs suck. Most art sucks, like a lot. And then the stuff that doesn't suck survives generally. I mean, there's some stuff that doesn't suck that gets lost, and that's sad. But generally, the good stuff survives. And that's the stuff I watch. I don't waste time keeping up with new movies because they're garbage. Most of them are garbage. So I wait generally. And if they get kind of like a lot of buzz from the kind of people I think are cool, I'll watch it. But yeah, I would rather just spend my time watching old stuff that's still around and still has people talking about it because that's the stuff that doesn't suck. Yeah. I mean, there's movies that came out like 5 years ago that nobody knows anymore just because they sucked. So I don't care normally about new stuff. Watch Across 110th Street, love it. Yeah, that one survives. Yeah, people still talk about that. Yep. So yeah, that's a good one to watch. Classic. Yeah. Is that Yaphet Kotto in that one? He's cool. Yeah. Cross 110th Street's good. The soundtrack's fantastic. That'll be around forever. Really great. Was it Bobby Womack that did the soundtrack for that? Yeah, really great stuff. You can't go wrong with a bunch of stuff in the 70s. I mean, that was just like, what a great decade for cinema. Just so much creativity, so many great ideas, lots of great acting, lots of experimental stuff. 70s, you can spend a lot of time discovering and rediscovering stuff in the 70s. A lot of time. I mean, with American films especially, because at the end of the 60s, 1968, that's when the Hays Code stopped being enforced entirely and got replaced by the rating system. And then the rating system gave directors a whole lot more freedom to do like adult movies. Not adult movies, but like, stuff with like more violence, sexier stuff, or whatever. So yeah, in the 70s, they just turned up the creativity quite a lot, and it's fantastic. Just found you on Letterboxd. Oh yeah. I kind of like Letterboxd. I mean, especially with a lot of stuff that I watch. I mean, this goes back a little bit to where I was talking about earlier with like young people not watching, not liking older movies. I mean, if you're looking for older movies like indie films, especially indie films, like young people today don't like low budget stuff very much. So yeah, so if you're looking on IMDb, for example, like a low budget indie film that's from the 70s, the rating does not reflect the quality of the film like at all. I mean, there's stuff on there that gets like, in the 4s and 5s out of 10s that's just like awesome stuff. And then there's just like absolute garbage, like Marvel bullshit that gets like 7s and 8s. Like it makes no sense to me. But Letterboxd is kind of cool because then, you know, if you follow, it's like a social media thing a little bit. So if you follow people that actually have decent taste in movies, you can see what they rated it. And that's a much better indication than the randos on IMDb that don't like anything from the 70s or older, and don't like horror films because, their girlfriend made them watch it and they didn't like it or whatever. Yeah, IMDb kind of sucks. Letterboxd fixes some of these problems. The stories were better in the 70s. Yes, the writing was a lot better. Also, I mean, the writing, oh God, I could talk a lot about how the writing sucks today, but yeah, 70s, great writers. Also love the look of film, me too. Thoughts on Jess Franco? He made a ton of movies. Yeah, he did. He has made tons of movies. So, I mean, some of Franco's stuff is basically porn. And then, a lot of that is sort of skippable. But yeah, he's made a lot of stuff that I do like. I covered his, what's it called? The Awful Dr. Orloff. I covered that on the channel a couple years ago, or a year and a half ago. I like that movie a lot. And then I found out later, that was the very first Spanish horror film, which is really cool that Jess Franco is the director of the very first Spanish horror film. That's awesome. And the movie's good too. So I like that. I also really like his, he did one of the Ilsa movies, like the fourth one, which is kind of like an unofficial Ilsa movie. It was released under various names. Like Ilsa, the Wicked Warden is one of them. I think Greta, or House of Greta, maybe. It was released under a bunch of names, but it's with Diane Thorne, but she's not blonde in it. I think she has red hair in it, but it's great. It's a women in prison Ilsa film, and Franco, I think it was his wife, Lena Romay, is that her name? Lena Romay. She's beautiful in that movie. Yeah, so I like that one a lot. And what else? I'd have to think, take a look at, to remind myself what else he's done. Yeah, but he's cool. Well, except for the stuff that is basically porn. I don't really care about that stuff very much. Ratings are snobby as hell. Yeah, they are. Well, they're snobby and also poppy, in the sense that, like, pop culture sort of bubblegum stuff, which is throwaway garbage for the most part, gets really high ratings on there. These sort of tent pole, special effects extravaganza things. Like, for example, like, I haven't heard anything good about the new Ant-Man movie. Everyone that I know has watched it, thought it was terrible. I bet if we hopped over on IMDb, that probably still has a score somewhere in the mid-7s, which, puts it up there with like Marathon Man and, The French Connection, which is just insane. That's one thing I really don't like about IMDb at all. They're very forgiving of special effects garbage. Yes. Letterboxd ratings were reliable. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Was good before Amazon bought them. Yeah, I used to really love them. Used to spend tons and tons of time on IMDb. Yeah, And then it seems like they have just gotten a lot worse with like the ratings and stuff. Um, but yeah, but I think part of it goes back to, yeah, I don't think a lot of people are watching movies these days. Yeah, and then the kind of audience that is going to the theater are like Marvel movie fans. But if that's your like if that's the base of the people that use the site, then like the ratings on non that stuff is really going to suffer, which I think is kind of what's happening. The head of effects at Marvel lost her job because of Ant-Man. Oh, really? Um, yeah. I mean, they should fire all the writers. That's who they should fire. I mean, you got Paul Rudd in the movie. You're not going to just let him be funny. You're not going to give him good lines. You're going to try to make some drama thing instead. Like, what the hell were they thinking? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, Paul Rudd, you could just ad-lib a bunch of stuff, which would have been better than what they ended up with, from what I've heard. Because he's pretty awesome. I like him. I like the first two Ant-Man movies. The first one especially, I thought was quite funny. And then his friend, the Mexican guy, hilarious. Yeah, he's fantastic. But yeah, I love the first Ant-Man movie. It's great. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, there's very few of these sort of Marvel things that I think are really a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, the first Ant-Man was one. And then the James Gunn stuff, I like him. And he's an old Troma guy too, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is fun. The Suicide Squad that he did, also pretty fun. Yeah, he's cool. James Gunn. James Gunn's cool. Right. So I think that about does it for me. I'm going to sign off. Thank you for dropping by. Probably do another one of these in about a month or so. We'll see. Maybe for 1,000 subscribers celebration, which should be in about a month or so. But until then, I'll see you on Monday. New video on Monday, like every Monday. Well, you'll see me. I won't see you because it's a recording. But that's how that works. I love the August Underground trilogy. Those are crazy movies. Yeah, really crazy movies. I would like them. I mean, I know why. Like, especially the first one. They just look so terrible. Like that, like really crappy. Was it done on VHS or like little DVI camera or whatever? I mean, obviously it makes sense that they would do it that way. But yeah, but they do really look bad. Like, which does, I guess, lend to the realism a little bit. But I do kind of wish, they had been made with like slightly better cameras. Maybe it would have taken a little bit away. But the video quality on those things is garbage, which is intentional. I know that's the point. But yeah, I mean, if he did it today, it would still, you could still do the handheld stuff. It would still look nice, but you could do like with just a little bit. I mean, a phone today would do a better job. But still, for what they are, cool movies, just like really sick, disturbing movies. But they do have a point to them, and it's a point I agree with. So I do like them in that sense. I mean, I can't remember the guy's name, but he didn't like the sort of like hero worship that like serial killers get, which I totally agree with him on. I think it's really weird that Dahmer and Bundy and Gacy, and they're kind of like celebrities. Like, that's really sick. So I do like this idea of like showing like, these people are like disgusting, vile human beings. Definitely nothing that we should be hero worshiping. So I do really like that about the August Underground movies. And they've got some good special effects too. Love what you do, man. Keep it going. Thanks, man. Good to see you. Oh, hey, look, it's the Horror Geek. welcome. As I'm I was about ready to sign off. I was actually earlier complaining a little bit about a movie that you like a lot because I got the Monster Slayer, Jack Brooks Monster Slayer. You covered it on your channel, um, and yeah, I like it too. Obviously, for the same reasons that you do, like really great creature effects and stuff. But I did think it was a little repetitive at the beginning with the jokes, and a little bit, which I don't like. I don't like repetitiveness in movies, especially if they're only 85 minutes long. So it kind of turned me off a little bit at the beginning. But then, the last half hour of the film is so great, it makes up for it. Well, better late than never. True. Better late than never. Yep. Yep. You could join me sometime if you want, Mike. We probably should come up with a topic, but then we could do it together. We could debate or something. We could movies that you like that I don't, and vice versa, or maybe that could be fun. Let's see. I think you like Street Trash, if I remember correctly. I really hate that movie. We could do a Street Trash debate if you're up for it. That could be fun. I can understand that. Oh, with the repetitiveness of the Jack Brooks movie. Still, though, yeah, but whatever missteps it makes in the first 45 minutes definitely are made up in the last 30. The end is really fantastic. I like Street Trash for sure. Yeah, I've heard you say nice things about it in the past. But me, I'm really, forgiving of a bunch of stuff, but I'm not really very forgiving with, poor writing, because even for indie filmmakers, that stuff is free. There's like tons of great writers out there who will give people scripts for free that have a beginning, a middle, and an end, or a hero's journey, or a 3-act or a 5-act structure, or whatever. There's tons of these people out there that will write for free. There's no reason for any indie filmmaker to make their own shitty scripts when they could just get a better one for free. And then, like in Street Trash, there's no plot to that movie. Like, it doesn't even have a main character, really. Like, oh, yeah. But anyway, Street Trash. What the hell? I like the melting hobos. I mean, that's cool. Was the video that almost didn't happen? That one was hard to script. Yeah, did they have a script? I mean, yeah, there's no plot. I mean, yeah, which is really weird to me because like plot is like the easiest thing in the world to write. It's just, a character has a desire, something stands in the way of that desire, so they try ABC and then succeed or fail. I mean, that's like the very basic, character development arc of like every story ever. I mean, if they can't even nail that part right, something's gone terribly wrong. Explain hobos, yeah. Well, what more do I need? A plot. I need a plot. That's what I need. Yeah. I'm a main character, or a couple maybe. But yeah, at least one. At least one with some sort of desire. Some sort of conflict. Not just random scenes of people stealing chicken in a grocery store and random scenes of Jack Ryan from the Troma movies, having his way with like a corpse and, random, like, no, I don't need any of that stuff without a plot. But I do like the exploding hobos a lot. Yes. Never watched Street Trash. Watched Citizen X, HBO movie about 2 weeks ago. Serial killer movie in Russia. Never heard of that one. Citizen X. Maybe because it's new. Is it new? Like I was saying before, I don't keep up with new movies. Your serial killer tirade made me remember that. Oh, good. I do like the tirades. Maybe that's what these live streams should be. It should be more tirades. Because in my videos for the channel, I really only cover movies that I like. So I'm always, mostly relatively positive about them. Um, but yeah, maybe I should turn these live streams into like 2-minute hate sessions. Maybe, but maybe not. That sounds like a bad idea, actually. Citizen X is an old one, like 95. Oh, okay. Yeah, somehow, yeah, missed that one. Yeah, don't know it. I know American History X. That one I know. But everyone knows that one. But yeah, Citizen X. Nope, don't know it. Right. Then I guess I will say goodbye. Any suggestions out there for things you would like me to cover on the channel? I mean, I have like a list that I'm kind of working through, but very often I don't decide what I'm going to do the next week until like maybe Tuesday. And then I just like hammer out a script and then record it and get it up. So yeah, I could be flexible. If you have any suggestions, let me know before I sign off. Going once. I'll wait a little bit for the slow typers. Okay. Don't see anything. Okay, then I will say goodbye. We got a very nasty piece of work coming up on Monday. One of my favorites, which is good fun. Definitely not for everyone. So be sure to check out Movie on Monday for something a little bit more insane than what I normally cover. All right, then. Thanks for dropping by. I will see you on Monday.